Fox and Friends folks went out to L.A.
Sorry, sir. Hollywood, Florida.
Oh, Hollywood, Florida.
Yeah, no. The MAGA Hollywood. We would never go to that liberal hellscape. We hosted Hollywood, Florida.
Here they are. Hey guys, what are we going to do to avoid talking about what happened in these elections? I know. Let's go down to Hollywood, Florida and pretend like we're at some type of convention. What is it? It's the Patriot Awards. Okay.
So it's their own version of the Oscars.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, Florida.
Is that what it is? Like, what are the Patriot Awards? Have we done any?
For the biggest patriot. I mean, the fact that you don't know kind of speaks a lot about your level of patriotism.
It's on Fox Nation.
Total soy boy.
It's on Fox Nation. It says that it's celebrating America, honoring the nation's everyday heroes.
Okay.
And his cantor is going to be there.
Where's my frickin' invitation?
Yeah. Don't let the women on the right stuff know that you don't know anything about the Patriot.
Is it really at a Hard Rock Cafe?
And his cantor Freedom, the former Celtics player, who is very, very he is very anti-China. He's on the Fox all the time. He's receiving the most valuable Patriot award at the ceremony.
Yeah, it's literally at the Hard Rock Live
Award.
at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
Good thing they brought the news team down there.
It is sold out, so too late, guys. To see Abby Hornacek, Joey Jones, Brian Kilmeade, Judge Jeanine Pirro, Jesse Waters, and Nancy Grace.
Gary Sinise of Forrest Gump fame is receiving the Service to Veterans Award.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
All right, so let's check this out.
Oh, there's a Golden Corral that sponsors it.
Oh, and they're talking about Twitter right now, and this is always fun. They have to. How are we going to deal with the fact that a billionaire is a raging incompetent?
Hard. Do you want to stay? Are you not going to censor people? Because if you want to follow my rules, then you can stay. If not, I'll pay you for 3 months and you can go. So he's not like picking and choosing who he's firing. He's saying you choose.
He is, and he's draining the swamp of Twitter, and it needs to be drained. But the way that he's doing it to me is genius. He's saying, I want people that want to work here and that have some integrity, that want to work hard, and that should be the standard. And the fact that we've moved so far away from that now we're having headlines about him sending out a memo saying, I expect you to work extremely hard. That should be the standard for every job and every young person. And young people need to understand it's not all about 6-month vacation, being an influencer, having a work-life balance. It's about working hard. And if you want to work somewhere like Twitter, you're going to have to work hard and you're going to have to treat people fairly. And if that's too much, hey, there's the door.
So all right, first off, this is really sort of wonderful. They're draining the swamp of Twitter. I don't know what that means, if they're talking about internally or the actual users.
Firing their employees.
But the idea that Tomi Lahren, whose entire career has been being basically a YouTube influencer, is talking about mocking people for being an influencer, not working hard.
Yeah. You should just agree to your boss saying you should work harder, longer, and for the exact same amount of pay. And that's
pro-worker.
Let's see you do that,
and then be grateful for the job creators like Elon Musk. Oh, wait, didn't he just fire a bunch of people? Oh, well, they didn't deserve it. Also, she's unrecognizable. I had no idea that was her.
Since when do you care what the stock boys think?
That's what this is about. This is about how can we, and Michael Brendan Doherty, who is, what's her name, McCain's husband.
Oh, no, he's not. That's not her.
Ben
Domenech.
Oh, you're right. That's right.
Dominic, right?
Anyway, he's sort of a Ben Domenech. Michael Brendan Doherty said, pro Elon Musk, sorry. I have more faith in an odor cutting drastically ahead of a recession, which is all they would have said in the olden days, but they have to add this little kicker. And innovating on the fly than in a management team that was trying to buy more time until it could become the CIA's direct interface for domestic political management. So you got the sort of anti-PMC, anti-imperialism. I'll just remind folks that Elon Musk has over hundreds of millions of dollars in contracts from the Pentagon.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, this guy is so compromised too. Half his investors are from the Saudi royal family.
Right.
I mean, these guys, what is it you're concerned about? We don't. I have a big anti-authoritarian agenda. That's why I really trust the Saudi royals.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking it to the deep state, which is why I have these Pentagon contracts in Ukraine.
It's insane. And the idea that it is both about, they really are trying to make it and I said this the other day in terms of like why Musk was going at Ed Markey. This guy is in complete "how is this not my fault" mode, and these people want to help him out too. Like it's the workers mode. If you don't like it, go to the door. Guess what? They did. That's why there's not going to be Twitter in a couple of days. Because they said, we don't like it, and we're walking to the door. And the reason why people are writing articles about this is because people are going like, how did somebody who spent $44 billion on a product sink it so quickly? I mean, and listen, I understand why people think that he's doing this on purpose. Because it is literally like, I'm going to buy the biggest boat in the world, and then I'm going to take some TNT, and I'm going to bring it down to the hull, and I'm going to blow it up.
Looks sick, right?
To the bottom.
Yeah, and like Vincent Bevins he said, like, is this like the Gawker thing where there's some sort of like progressive salience on this website and he just wants it to go away? And like, I like, functionally he's going to do that, but I think it's not.
Is that his intent?
Reason. Right.
God, no, of course not. This is a guy who's just completely incompetent. And this is the thing is that, you know, like, and I've said this for years, people can't wrap their heads around the idea that someone could be in a position to pay $44 billion for something. And granted, he has other, you know, investors and people had buy-in, and be this freaking stupid. It's just like it doesn't compute because we've been taught and it's been drilled in our brains that if you have money, you are morally righteous. If you have money, then you deserved it. If you have money, it is all based upon merit. And I got news for you. Like, that is the lessons that's not being learned here. There are two major lessons. One is you don't want billionaires to have the ability to impact society in this way. You don't want them to have political and material power of this ilk. That is why you don't want any billionaires, smart or stupid, neither one. None of them should exist. And then the other is some bad news about what you think being a billionaire means. It's just a dude who got lucky at one point, started out with some cash, made a couple of decent investments, got in, knew how to market. Once you get a certain amount of money, it is hard not to make much more. Money accelerates. And the benefits you get from having money in terms of like everything becomes cheaper. You got $5 million, $10 million, put $500,000 into this investment fund. All of a sudden, your freaking mortgages, your mortgage rates drop down to like zero.
Yeah. Our entire economy is structured to benefit that. It's a passive income kind of system for those wealthy people to keep getting wealthier. It's structured that way.
Yeah.
There was a dynamic when I was on sitcoms where I remember like they came and they took us to the Nike store and they're like, where are our sneakers? And they gave us a bunch of sneakers for free. And I'm like, what? This is the first time I can afford to buy a pair of sneakers for $70 and you're giving them to me free. Their money gets them a bunch of free money, literally. And that's the way it works. And so like the two big lessons, the two big takeaways from this are, A, we shouldn't have any billionaires, period. And as secondarily, and this in no way is the reason for the first. The reason for the first, we shouldn't have any billionaires because we don't want to amass that much power in any individual, whether they're smart or stupid, whether they are, benevolent or not. And you can have imagination about what these people are or not. And then the second is, just because you got money does not mean that you have any idea how to A, make it anymore, and B, how you need to do anything. It's just like,
yeah,
the stupidity associated with this is beyond most human beings' ability to assess when every other signifier out there means like this guy's smart.
There's also like a vicious cycle. Sorry to cut you off, Emma. There's also a vicious cycle of this type of like self-generating justification for the coverage of billionaires like this. Like one thing I wanted to mention yesterday when we were talking about the Bezos interview with Chloe Mellis, that entertainment reporter for CNN, was Jack Merkinson and Discourse blog, our friend Jack Crosby's site, mentioned in one of his pieces about it that on the CNN business website, the big headline for the write-up of the interview is "Quick advice from a billionaire." So it's literally like it's even being marketed as he has a ton of money, therefore his whatever he says has value.
Right.
Even if it's just complete bland platitudes and saying some broad, I'm going to auction off all my wealth before I die. It doesn't even really matter what he's saying, but it's like, look, he's a billionaire. He has so much money. Therefore, we have to codify and be the stenographer for everything that they say.
It inherently has value. And like, just lastly on this, this is the limitations of the right wing's critique of big tech, is because they just want the right billionaire in charge. And once that happens, then they'll celebrate it. And Tomi Lahren, to return to your point earlier, Sam, about how her being a creature of influencer culture, like, she became famous and rich because of the algorithm favoring her. Like, she is a creature of and disproves their like constant hand wringing about the bias against conservatives in tech. Like, she is a test case for the fact that is not true. And then she signs with Fox News in 2017. Have you heard from her since then? Have you heard anything?
Well, you know what happened.
She's on Fox Nation. No one gives a shit. When she was on the big tech, liberal big tech algorithm, that's when she was the most popular.
What happened to Tomi Lahren was that she came out to be pro-choice, and she and then she got completely fried by Glenn Beck, and then she was done. And then she was out in the wilderness and just trying to claw her way back in. And
but hey, the tides have turned on that abortion stuff. Maybe, I don't know. Do you think Rupert Murdoch is like, let's get some Tomi back in here? Maybe we can launch the.
I feel like time is not on her side. I mean,
I did see she's 30, so I mean Murdoch's. She might have aged out.
She'll be on Fox and Friends, in a couple of years, and that's where she'll be. Hey, this video is sponsored by Established Titles. What is Established Titles? It is a fun novelty gift that also helps you preserve some natural woodlands. It's a project based on historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number. So what happens is they plant a tree with every order. They work with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future, to support global reforestation efforts. And you get one of these certificates. I'm a lord. I'm also a lady, too. I can be both. There's no reason I can't be. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to our plot. If you want to become a lord and lady, we can create our own Majority Report kingdom. So check it out. You can also, on official documents where they use a prefix, you can call yourself lord or lady. It makes an amazing last-minute gift. Established Titles is actually running a massive Black Friday sale right now. Plus, if you use the code MAJORITY, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/majority to get your gifts now and help support the channel.